Harris's notable avoidance of press conferences undeniably raises eyebrows, as it appears to be a calculated tactic to carefully manage her public image. But is this strategy merely a shield against unscripted media interactions, or does it reveal a deeper concern over her transparency with voters? As the quest for authenticity intensifies, could this avoidance ultimately backfire? Transitioning to her supporters, they tout that while Harris may not frequently address the press, her policies are readily available online. They argue that her focus lies firmly on her campaign against Trump, suggesting that perhaps her time is better spent on strategy rather than media engagements. But at what cost does this focus come? However, a recent slip-up, referring to Trump as the former vice president, sends a cautionary signal, highlighting a potential gap in her public speaking practice. Does this error hint at larger issues with her preparedness for the upcoming debates, or is it merely a momentary lapse in an otherwise calculated campaign? Recent polling trends, intriguingly, show a rise in the candidate's favorability, suggesting she has overcome prior challenges. This shift in public perception could indicate a strategic realignment in her campaign approach. But is this newfound support sustainable, or merely a fleeting response to her latest moves? As pressure mounts, the importance of direct engagement with voters looms large, reflecting how the candidate is evolving from past campaign missteps. Actively reaching out to swing states, she seems to understand the necessity of connecting with the electorate. Yet, the question remains, are these efforts enough to bridge the gap created by her previous hesitations? Despite these efforts, criticism persists regarding her public communication. Some undecided voters voice their confusion over her positions, underscoring the urgent need for clearer messaging. How can she navigate this labyrinth of misunderstanding and regain the trust of those who are still on the fence? Historically, Clinton's strategy of retreating from the press created an image of elitism and detachment from the public discourse. Could Harris's similar approach risk alienating potential supporters who crave accessibility and connection? This tactic raises a significant concern about her role in uniting the electorate. Furthermore, her absence from significant events, such as the Al Smith dinner, casts a shadow over her willingness to engage in traditional political rituals that promote unity and lightheartedness among candidates. Is this avoidance reflective of a broader strategy, or does it point to an unease with public camaraderie? Contrasting her campaign with Donald Trump's reveals a stark divergence in energy and public presence. While Trump actively feeds off the crowd's energy, Harris maintains a more cautious and reserved stance, leaving many to wonder, will her measured approach resonate with an electorate that often thrives on charisma? This contrast in performance under pressure brings to light a troubling juxtaposition with past leaders who navigated similar challenges with grace. Is her inability to shine under public scrutiny diminishing her appeal? This notion inevitably stirs skepticism regarding her capabilities as a leader. Equally revealing is the comparison to the Bud Light situation, where public perception can swiftly pivot against a candidate despite seemingly favorable media support. This illustrates a broader trend of disconnect between candidates and the electorate. How can she mitigate this perception and ground herself in the hearts of voters? The avoidance of press interactions, it seems, could suggest a deeper lack of confidence and control over her campaign strategy. Do these behaviors raise alarms about her readiness for higher office? And might this further alienate supporters who expect openness and engagement from their leaders? Amidst this backdrop, the speaker doesn't hold back their criticism of the current administration's handling of pressing issues like mental health transparency. Moreover, controversial policies come under scrutiny, questioning their impact on voter trust. Could this administration's decisions be costing them voter confidence? Questions loom large surrounding the administration's role in increased illegal immigration and soaring prices during their tenure. These pressing inquiries illuminate perceived failures in leadership, forcing voters to reassess their faith in those governing them. How does this atmosphere of doubt influence their voting decisions? Finally, an unsettling fear emerges among voters, painting a picture of disconnection between leaders and the public. In stark contrast, a political rival displays a fearless attitude, leaving many to question, is this the type of leadership they truly desire? As tensions rise, the urgency for change becomes undeniable.